Okay, here with Nelly Korda, our defending champion of the Pelican Women's Championship. I want to ask about last year first. Take us back a little bit through your final round there and the playoff. I know you only played one playoff hole, but just the anticipation of playing against three other really good players that you played in.
Last year I haven't been back here until yesterday. And it was definitely a very interesting finish. I think I tripled 17 and then I birdied 18 to get into the playoff, and then I birdied my first hole in the playoff. So didn't make it very easy for myself. Definitely lost a couple years off my life with the stress that I caused. But other than that, amazing memories coming back here, and hopefully I can make some really good ones this year.
Yeah. Getting yourself into the playoff and then seeing you're playing Lexi, Lydia, and Se Young, what were the nerves like for that?
Well, I was still kind of getting over my nerves from 17, tripling that. So anything that I kind of did on 18 and the first playoff hole to me was a bonus just because of kind of my huge blowout on 17 that day.
Mm-hmm. It was a really good finish to that year for you. You had a really great year. Now speaking on this year, I know battling an injury at first, but still being really successful out here. Can you sort of recap the year from us before this penultimate event?
I would recap it it was a roller coaster. There was definitely a lot of ups, a lot of downs. I've played some solid golf since coming back, but I've also overdone it and then also played some poor golf. So definitely a learning year, more about myself, more about my body. I would say every year I'm very grateful for every year. I'm grateful to be out here. It was definitely a little scary at the start. But overall, I've played some really good golf, so I'm proud of that.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of this year and getting ready for this tournament, what's this prep been like? I know you just had a couple weeks off since you didn't travel to Asia. Tell me what the prep has been like over those weeks, and hopefully you've been taking some rest time.
Yeah, I missed my cuts in Arkansas and I missed a cut in Dallas. In all honesty, I probably shouldn't have played that because I was on the road for such a long time throughout Europe. But the time off was really nice. I did play a tournament in between that in New York. So it was good to not have all 5 weeks off and to get the competitiveness out of me a little. But yes, the rest definitely was very appreciated. My body really, really needed that.
Mm-hmm. As you prepare for like a big event like CME, how does playing in this tournament help you prepare for that, with a $2 million win prize on the line?
I think whenever you kind of get to play on similar grass and similar weather, I think it helps a lot. I'm a Florida girl. I kind of grew up on these golf courses, so I really like it. But for girls that don't necessarily play on Bermuda and grain, I think it's a really good tournament to play before you going into our tour championship that is played on very similar style golf course.
Okay. We have questions in the room.
Nelly, you talked about a bit of a roller coaster year. Was it difficult to build rhythm this season?
For sure, yeah. I think I missed so much of the year that I kind of wanted to make it all up in a sense. And as I said, I'm learning constantly. I'm learning about my body, and that's the great thing about golf is that it humbles you. And once you think you kind of got a hang of it, it kind of makes you come back down to reality. So, it was definitely hard to kind of get a rhythm this year. When I was playing well, it was great, but when I was playing bad, I could definitely tell that not playing at the start of the year, not doing anything throughout my injury, played a role.
Yeah. And I was going to ask you about the challenge of the 18th hole, especially when the tee is back. When you look
at this course?
At this course.
Okay, yeah.
When you look at your birdie finish after the triple at 17, is that as good an answer as you've ever had to adversity on a golf course?
For sure, yeah. Especially, I was very angry coming down 18 the first time after the triple. But to come back and birdie it twice after definitely showed that I'd never back down and I'd never give up.
And with that tee back, what clubs are you hitting in?
Well, a little different. Last year was a little firmer.
Yeah.
This year it's a little bit more moist. So this year I've had like a 6 or 5 iron in, and last year I was actually past the bunker on the left, and I had like a 7 iron into that back pin.
Nice. Thanks.
Now, you mentioned setbacks. Have there been any other physical setbacks throughout the course of the year, or is it just the...
It was just like the physical part. It was just the injury that I dealt with, and then I kind of just mentally fatigued myself, which a lot of people go through that. I mean, every athlete goes through that.
Now that we're close to the end of the year and you've had a chance to kind of look back, I mean, one of the best adages in sports is nobody ever comes back too late. You can only come back too soon.
Yep, correct.
Do you think that you may have said, I could have maybe taken it another 2 or 3 weeks?
No, I think I came back at the time that I needed to, or that was acceptable. My body has been great all year. I've been very fortunate for that, knock on wood. The only thing that I may have made a mistake in is then trying to catch up and just being on the road too much and not taking a breather and stepping back and being fresh.
Yeah. Thanks.
This is more of a fun question, but I remember last year, I believe at this tournament, we were talking about where you keep your trophies, and one of your off-season projects was to build up your office and have a nice place for them. So what does that look like now?
I wish I did it. I unfortunately didn't get to do that. I'm maybe in my new place. I'm currently in the process of building a house, so that place is going to be a little better.
How active have you been in doing all the selections for building the house?
Oh my gosh, it's so stressful. I hate it. I literally hate it. I have an interior designer and she helps me a lot, and I'm like, this is all you. Like, I can't look through this many pieces of furniture. Like, I just can't do that.
I was going to say, do you have another example, a good story of like golfers are just like us? You also hate picking out different things?
Oh yeah, it's honestly awful. I hate it. It just causes me a big headache. I've learned some words like roof trusses that I would have never if I didn't have to build a house. But it's been a very interesting time to build houses. It's kind of fun. Kind of takes my mind off of golf too. When I'm home, I'm just going to meetings too.
I was going to say, fun might be reserved for after it's done and you get to enjoy it.
Correct, yeah.
We're going to see you in Naples a couple of times.
Yes.
The sponsor on your logo there on your collar because of the tournament coming up, PGA Tour. So how excited are you for once again representing the women in a tournament like that?
Yeah, I think it's a super exciting time. Lexi and I are playing in that event. I'm going to be playing that tournament kind of like back-to-back with our tour championship and then obviously playing the QBE shootout. I think it's a great way to showcase women's golf, to put our names out there, to get more eyes on us, and I'm happy to be a small part of it. I'm very excited about the opportunity. I think it'll be a fun week.
Where are you building?
It's a secret.
I don't want to know exactly. It's kind of in the general area.
I'm just building where I grew up.
In Bradenton.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Correct. Yeah.
And
I don't need new people knocking on my door.
what's the? Are you shocked by the price of lumber?
I was warned. So I was warned.
Okay.
Yeah. So I kind of knew going into it.
Go ahead.
How does it feel coming back as a defending champ with this event, being it's kind of a unique for a third-year event and so much buzz around it this year? And what are the biggest changes that you've noticed from last year to this year?
I haven't really noticed any changes from last year to this year. Obviously, it's super nice to come back to a golf course that you have so many good memories at. This is only my second time actually defending at the golf course I've won at. This year was my first time defending at Meyer, and I won that there the previous year. So hopefully I can make some good memories this year. But other than that, I don't think much has changed other than I think we're expecting some bad weather.
I was going to ask that next. How do you feel about, you're obviously, eager to get out and defend the championship, and then to have this kind of uncertainty with the weather. How does that affect you and your preparation? And
It's the same for everyone. Mother Nature, you never know. I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm hoping we're going to get an update soon on what the plan is, but right now I'm just prepping, and my mindset is starting on Thursday, so we'll see.
We do have a question here on the Zoom. Go ahead and unmute yourself, please.
Yes. Hi, Nelly. It's Beth
Hello.
Ann. So I'm just curious, talking about Jamie Mulligan around this time last year, how has he most influenced your game so far over the course of the last year? And is there anything specific that you've been working on in the run-up to this event?
Nothing really specific. I think what Jamie has kind of taught me the most is my demeanor and staying calm, which for a lot of people that they think when they see me on the golf course, maybe I don't struggle with, but they don't know what's kind of the emotions that I have internally. He's definitely a very, very thoughtful and amazing coach, and I've had so much fun spending a year with him. But he'll be out at in Naples next week, and we'll get some work in for the Tour Championship too. But we keep everything really simple, and that's what I really like about Jamie. I think I've always kind of made sure that my golf game is simple and not overly complicated, and I like to play it that way.
And just a quick follow-up, what part of your game are you most satisfied with right now?
I'd like to say all of it, so it treats me well. I think in every department I can always improve and get better, but I'm pretty satisfied with the way my game is trending right now.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Last question here. Just as you prepare for a start one of these days, hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah.
I know you just came off of a practice pro-am and practice round. Tell me what the course is looking like, what the challenges you see out there are, conditions, whatnot.
Yeah, so I played around, I think, 10:30-ish. The winds were definitely kind of starting to pick up. They're pretty gusty. Golf course is in really good condition. The greens are rolling nicely. The fairways are nice. The bunkers are nice and compact. So overall, the golf course looks amazing, but we'll see what happens with the weather and what it'll do to the golf course. Hopefully not much, and we can start Thursday, Friday. I don't know. We'll see.
Just one question.
Okay.
Yeah, are you a hockey fan or
I am a hockey fan. Why do you ask?
Chicago Blackhawks? There you go.
Yeah, well, this year. Last year was Kings. The years before it was Detroit. So
He's moved around quite a bit, and
Yeah.
he was a real fan of ours in Detroit because he's so fast on the very.
yeah, he was.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Nelly.
Okay, thank you.